Hi guys! Welcome back to another A&A Club video.
It may have seemed like we disappeared, but we're alive.
And after a few months, we came back with another video. In this video, we will answer the questions that you've put for us to answer. And meanwhile, we will make a delicious fruit salad.
So we got a few questions from Topaz Rochelle. I hope I pronounced your name right. And the first question is, for both of you, do you consider yourself more introverted or extroverted?
Well, as for me, I definitely say introverted because most of the time I struggle with severe social anxiety, so it's not even a question for me. Definitely introverted. I'd like to stay inside most of the time. Just curl up in my room with a good book or a movie. So parties are not for me. Definitely introvert.
I would say I'm an ambivert. I mean, I sometimes have like more introverted and more extroverted days. So it depends on my mood and the weather and everything. But most of the time I think I can be an introvert, but an extrovert too.
Okay, our next question is favorite songs by your favorite artist. By the way, I love this question.
Well, my favorite artist is Enya, and I'm not entirely sure about my favorite songs because it always changes. But some of my all-time favorites is Orinoco Flow, of course, because that was the song that introduced me to her music. And then I like all the single songs, like Book of Days, Wild Child, and all the popular ones. But some of the non-popular Enya songs that I really like are Exhale, Willows on the Water, and The Memory of Trees. But I have many other favorites, of course. These are just that came to mind.
Well, my favorite artist is definitely and unchangingly My Chemical Romance. Since I was like 13 or 14, they ruled my whole life and my thoughts. So definitely they are my favorite band, and my favorite song, as Anna said too, always changes, but currently is Thank You for the Venom and like Burn Bright, and The Light Behind Your Eyes is always one of my favorites because it's really sad and beautiful. But I also like House of Wolves, and it makes so much sense knowing that Frank wrote it, the guitarist. He's the guitarist. And I like that song very much. And also the popular ones, definitely like I'm Not Okay and Welcome to the Black Parade, and like the whole Three Cheers album and the Black Parade album. But my favorite album is probably Conventional Weapons and Bullets. And Head First for Halos is my favorite Bullet song, so yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention that I also really like The Humming from the album Dark Sky Island. That's another great song. And Pale Grass Blue. Who's taller, Anna or Andy? When did one of you become a lot taller?
Anna is taller, definitely. She's so much taller than me. Like, I'm just 5'5". She's like 5'9", which is in centimeters. I'm 164 centimeters and she's 176. Definitely, like, I have to look up at her.
I think I was always taller. I mean, I was always among the taller girls in my class.
I'm just a short guy. Yeah, like even when we were kids in like first grade, she was always taller than me. Taller than the whole class. First in the row in like PE class, and she was always the first in the girls' row. I just realized how much I miss being classmates with you, like middle school.
Yes,
and all.
it's so much different now. I mean, everything has changed.
Yes, it's we're freshmen right now, and also we can speak about the one of the questions because it says what was your favorite school year so far, and I think the themes match, so we can just blend
Yes.
the two together. We're freshmen now, and we went like the system is different here because I'm 16 years old, but I'm just a freshman. Like I know, like in the U.S., often 16 years old are already like juniors, I think,
Yes.
and or at least sophomores. But I'm just a freshman because I started school at 7 years old, and I lost 1 year. I didn't fail. I just lost 1 year because I stayed in kindergarten longer. But we went to middle school and like elementary school together. But now it's different because I changed school. I switched schools, and it's so much different. I miss her a lot.
Yes, it's so. I miss you so much too. Like everything's so different, and I always like when I walk to school. I always think about the old jokes that we said and everything. And I'm not entirely sure what was the best year, but maybe 7th grade.
Probably. I mean, I was really depressed at that time, but as in the school year, that was much better than 8th grade, because like
Yes.
8th grade was hard, because we had exams at the end of it, and we had to prepare a lot, and like we had lots of work, and we had barely time for ourselves. And
Yes.
it's surprising that I was more depressed in 7th grade than in 8th grade, but it's just that. I was like on the floor in 7th grade. I don't know what happened to me during that time.
7th grade was kind of a funny year. We spent a lot of time at school. I think that was the year when we had the most classes. But I don't know, our classmates said a lot of jokes, and we even had a notebook
Yeah. We noted a
about
lot of.
a lot of these. We noted most of these jokes and what the teachers said too. And we filled 85 pages of jokes, and most of the jokes were written in 7th grade. Like most of that notebook was filled in 7th grade. That was just a funny year.
Yes, I think so. It was definitely gold and everything. Despite all of the things that happened, I don't want to swear, sorry. Despite everything that happened, it was probably the funniest year. But I also miss 8th grade because like it was a vibe despite the
Yes.
whole work and all.
And I think 7th grade was also good because that was the time when COVID started to end and things went back to normal.
Yes, so probably that is why it was such a vibe. By the way, I hate high school. I just realized that freshman year, I'm sorry for the curse word, but it sucks. I hate it so much.
Well, it's not that bad for me, but yes, I miss a lot of things, and it's just so different from what it got used to. And it's just different, and it's so new.
And one of the last questions from Topaz Rochelle is a special skill that you have. What is a special skill that you have in addition to baking, nothing in art that we post on our channel?
Well, for me, I go to music school so I can play the piano. And I also think I have pretty good ears, and not only musical ears, but I always hear things that other people might not. I mean, if someone said something and then they didn't hear, I always hear that. And I also have a good face memory. I remember all of my mates from kindergarten and the people whom I only met once. And I think that's another special skill.
Well, since I mentioned that I went to the same school as Anna until now, I also play the piano and I play the violin too, and I would like to learn how to play drums too. Also like to sing, but I don't think my voice is good enough to call it a special skill because it's not skilled, but I'm self-taught, so I don't think I have the right
You're good.
to call it a skill. So I just passed in that one, but my special skill is probably my memory, because I probably most definitely have ADHD. I wasn't diagnosed, but I definitely have it. And my memory is pretty good because if I focus on something, if I'm interested in something, I can learn infinite, like huge amounts of information. Like one time I just sat down and like wrote down the entire 92 song titles of My Chemical Romance, sorted into albums and like singles and unreleased songs even, and I know the lyrics of most of those songs and like infinite amount of information about the band. Like I'm really interested in that band and I really like them. And one time I watched like a 2-hour long video diary and I pretty much memorized the whole thing. So yeah, my memory, I would say.
I also like to sing. I forgot to mention. I also like to sing.
Yeah, so probably we could upload musical content too.
That's a good idea. And now from 9th grade I also take singing classes once a week. That's my second instrument, if I can say that. So I also really like singing, although I'm a beginner, of course. And I like languages too, and I want to improve my English and learn German and French maybe. And of course my Romanian needs some improvement too, because we live in Romania, so...
Yeah, but I like it here. It's fun. I mean, it's so much better than like right now living in the US, but I wouldn't like to go into political themes because it doesn't match the topic. But I think I love here in the Balkans and like Romania, and I also enjoy the language. Like I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah, well, I think now I'm at the level that I actually started enjoying the language because I can express my thoughts and just say things in Romanian. So, yeah. And that's the end of today's video.
Special thanks to Topaz Rochelle for giving us actual questions to answer because nobody else bothered to. But yeah, so we actually had something to make a video of. So thank you if you're watching this. Bye.
See you next time. Also, I broke this microphone, so now it's like tied to my clothes, but it works. Na, próba videó.
Mikrofon próba.
Itt így fogunk így vágogatni.
Kapcsoljam ki amúgy a low power módot, mert lehet, hogy csak az a baj, hogy 32%-on.
Nem tudom. Beleveszem, hogy most...
De hogy ennyire nem fog
Jó,
szerintem
tudom, csak
kopogni.
most ilyen extrém.
Why we will make a delicious
Fruit salad.
literally just forgot.
Who's the top? Who's tallest? Who were also like really tall and ez nagyon értelmes volt. I mean, we spent a lot of time, I think most the year. So